and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Very good. Okay. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. And let me see here.
Do we have a visitor? Samantha?
Oh, we have we have Samantha Walley, and we also have our speakers that are in attendance as well. Brandon, did you end up joining today? There's a guest that I had who might be coming in.
My friend Mary was intending to come, but her husband had some surgery last week, and I've not been able to meet her. So I don't know what's going on, but
yeah. No, I had a guest named Brandon Foster who was planning to come. I don't know if he's online or not. And we'll certainly all be thinking about and praying for your friends for their recovery. I'm so sorry about that.
Thank you. Oh, man. Okay.
I don't see any other visiting people on the attendance list.
Should I call roll? I mean, I see some people here. I have John Bear and Lindsay and Larry, David, Jeremy, Danny, but that's it.
Lauren Fitz is here.
Yep, Lauren Fitz is on.
Good.
Brian Christiol is on. Yeah,
Okay.
Teresa, if you have a club member list, go ahead and call roll because we have several phone numbers up that I don't recognize.
Okay. Adam Beasley.
Here.
Okay, good. David, we already said. Brian Crisol. Janine Coleman.
Here.
Okay. Danny DeLome's here. The farmer couple, Yolanda and Ryan. No. Lauren's here. Debbie Green. Okay. John Bear's here. Archie Hill. Mike Oya has had problems lately with being able to talk and for us to see him, so I'll just have to contact him outside, see if he's there. Donna and Greg?
I'm here.
Okay.
They're both on.
Okay, good. Brian Meadows? Okay. Joy Miguez? Andre Mitchell? Okay, and that's it. Larry and Lindsay and me.
Okay. So I emailed out an agenda about an hour ago. I'm sorry for the delay, but just for announcements, next meeting's June 20th through 26th is the virtual International Assembly. That'll have Rotary content over several days. And it's free to log in, and so please remember to log on if you can. At least pick 1 or 2 days to log on and participate in that. It'll be a very unique opportunity for a lot of people who might not otherwise be able to make it to an international convention to experience the international flavor of Rotary, which could be really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
June 23rd will be our virtual end-of-year assembly for our club. We'll be sending out a program for that. Governor Domingue will be present for officer inductions. We'll have some visiting guests in attendance, and we'll also have certificates for Return of the Year, Paul Harris Fellowship announcements, and lots of other exciting content. So June 23rd, 6 p.m. Via Zoom for virtual end-of-year assembly. And then June 27th will be the virtual district assembly. I believe it's from 9 to 11 in the morning. Greg, do you have anything you want to say about the virtual district assembly?
No, it's going to be relatively quick. There'll be a visitor. Our Rotary International Zone Director will be making a brief appearance with us, as will the district governor, of course. And a couple of presentations and some business will be done by noon.
Very good. And then on July 14th, we'll be kicking off the year with the first club assembly. Danny, the floor is yours if you have anything you want to say about the first meeting and what's coming up next year.
Well, I'm getting excited. We still have a little bit more than a month away before we try to do our first live meeting. We will be attempting to try and set up a camera for those who can't make it. But our intention, I mean, right now, we've been in phase 2 for maybe not quite a week, going on a week. And hopefully by that time, we may even be going into phase 3. But no matter what, I've talked to David, and Vermilionville is ready to have us and to take care of us properly and safely. And so our first meeting is going to be a district assembly, which will be going over all of our goals. We'll probably be also giving our hand delivering our awards from the district installation banquet because of going virtual. So we're going to try and give those awards, hand them out. But we'll be going over our goals and our projects for the coming year. So this would be a good time to invite a guest because they would, be able to hear and, see some of the Rotarian members, but also to hear what our club is planning on doing, for the upcoming year, and to hopefully get them excited to want to be a part of that event and join our club.
Outstanding. And so, as a reminder to keep checking the district website if you have any interest in attending virtual meetings of other clubs. And does anyone have any questions for Danny about next year that they want to address with him right now?
I have a question about next year and the banquet on the 23rd. I heard from AOC, they were saying that any events that are virtual or whatever, if we would like to have them recorded and open to the public, that they would let me know.
Very good.
I mean, it would be some exposure that we might not have had otherwise.
Say that again, Teresa.
It would be some exposure that we might not have had otherwise as far as promoting Rotary, the things that we do and all. If we have, like, you're putting together a slideshow, they'll be able to feed that in directly.
Yeah, and I couldn't, you silenced for a second. What was your suggestion? I missed that.
That AOC record and actually put our banquet on where everybody can see it, and
Okay.
it would be recorded for posterity.
Okay. All right. We'll look into that.
Okay.
And then we did get the district grant submitted for Chromebooks for New Hope, and we'll be arranging donation of the district face masks in the near future. Any other announcements from club members?
Oh, I went to the Lafayette Parish School System today and talked to Dr. Rabalay's secretary, and hopefully they'll get back with me. Maybe we can bring those packets to the schools.
Very good. Yeah, that's going to be great once we're able to get those delivered. And then, and thank you for working on that. And Lindsay also had one announcement she wanted to make.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I hope everybody received my email, and I just wanted to reiterate about the masks. If you do want yours, please just email me or respond to my email to let me know, and we will figure out a way to either mail or get that to you. If you do not want your mask or you don't need it, please just let me know that you choose to donate it if you haven't done so already, and we will get that donated. So thank you guys so much.
Very good. All right, and with that, I'm going to turn the floor now over to Samantha Walley, coming to us from District 6840, who's going to introduce our Rotary Youth Exchange students today. I am extremely pleased and excited to have Aniela and Elena here with us today. I had the opportunity, as did Danny and Teresa, to meet both of you at PETS back in March, and we were very, very impressed with both of you. And it's wonderful to have you here today. So Samantha, Elena, and Aniela, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm Sam Walley. I am a proud member of the Rotary Club of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, and I am our district's Deputy Governor of Youth Services, as well as the District Youth Exchange Chair. So I've had the immense pleasure of working with these two girls this year. They're two of the 4 students we had here on exchange. The other 2 have already returned home because of COVID. These young ladies have chosen to stay. They've made a great impact on all the people that they've spoken with, and I'm really excited for you to be able to hear what they have to say about Rotary. And they're very much working to promote youth within Rotary and the importance of youth and the contributions, the real contributions that these young people can make to your club and to Rotary as a whole. So I'm going to ask Annie and Elena to take it on.
So hi, good morning, everyone. I am Elena, and I'm here with Aniela. And today we have a presentation for you.
Tell them when
If Annie or Sam is gonna share the screen. And we're gonna talk to you about Rotary Youth, so all the different aspects of youth in Rotary, why is it so important, and how it can open opportunities.
Yes, I am from Venezuela, Elena is from Italy, and we are going to share our screen, but the host have to let me share my screen, because I'm gonna share the screen. So if the host can please make me able to do it, will be great.
Okay, how do I do that actually? So
make her a co-host. Right click on her name and make her a co-host. I think it's the easiest.
Okay, so.
There we are.
Did we do it?
Oh, you got it?
Yes.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Go, Larry.
Thank you.
Okay, so Annie is going to introduce you to all the types of Rotary Youth so we can be clear on what we mean when we say Rotary Youth.
So we are here to share with y'all how Rotary Youth opens opportunities in this new Rotary year. When we're talking about Rotary Youth programs right now, we are just talking about Rotary Youth Exchange, Interact, and RILA, because there is also Rotaract and New Generation Exchange, but those are for young professionals. Now we are focusing on Rotary Youth programs for high school age. So it's Rotary Youth Exchange program for students who go to another country for a year, which it's what we are doing right now. Is in our clubs, we are like high school clubs for students to get, it's a baby Rotary basically, and RILA, which is a Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, which are camps to promote and create leadership.
So let's talk about numbers. As you can see, we have some numbers about the Interact clubs and the Rotary Youth Exchange. As you can see, the impact of one Rotary Youth Exchange can hit more than 200 people. So as you can see, we have a lot of exchange students all around the world. So imagine the impact that we as young people have all around the world. And this is without any funds from Rotary Foundation. So now I want to talk to you all about my personal experience and what Rotary Youth Exchange means to me and being an exchange student means to me. So for me personally, the Rotary Youth Exchange program can be defined with 3 words. And these are global citizenship, peace, and opportunities. So I believe that we as exchange students decide to leave our countries and we create a whole new life with new friends and new family in the country that hosts us. And so even when we go home, it doesn't completely feel like a home, because a part of our heart will always be in the country that has hosted us. And this to me is the definition of global citizenship. The second word is peace, and I believe that the Rotary Youth Exchange program and all the youth programs help bring peace in the world by creating connection between young people from all around the world. Is it important that during this age, while we are still so young, we understand that we can all get along with each other and talk to each other to solve problems and conflicts? We need to understand that we can work together, and this is the best way to do it. And exchange and Rotary youth programs are the best way to understand that. The other word is opportunities, and is my favorite, and it also matched this year's theme, Rotary open opportunities. So as exchange student, we are ambassadors from our country, so we get to share our own cultures while learning about the culture of the country that hosts us. This means that we not only open our own eyes, but we are able to open the eyes of people around us. In my personal experience, I'm doing my exchange in St. John's Parish, Louisiana, and a lot of people at my school have never traveled even outside of their own state. But then they see me and they suddenly realize that there is a whole world outside, and we start conversing with each other, we share our own cultures. So I am able to make an impact on them and make them realize the world that there is outside full of opportunities. And to me personally, Rotary opened the opportunity to be here and learn so much. So this is why I believe that Rotary Youth Exchange and all the Rotary programs are full of opportunities, and they are so important.
It's an opportunity for everybody to get to know more, and it's an opportunity for us to learn another language. Personally, when I came here, my English was like really basic, and I couldn't have a conversation with other person, but it's also an opportunity for international programs. I am part of Interact and Rotary Youth Exchange, so when I came here, I obviously looked for my Interact club at Hancock High School, which was my school. So I am personally from Venezuela. Venezuela is going through a very special situation. So we are living a humanitarian, economic, and political crisis right now in the country. According to the UN, 10% of the Venezuelan population needs humanitarian aid. So this is an opportunity for the Venezuelan exchange students and all the countries who are going through tough situations to look and help for their countries. So when I came here, I connected with this project called Hope for the Venezuelan Refugees, which is a pilot project in partnership between Rotary Youth Club of Houston and Rise Against Hunger. So they have this project in Colombia, in the border with Venezuela, where they feed and give shelter and food and clothes to the Venezuelan refugees who are living. We are talking about 5 million people who have fled Venezuela in the last 5 years. It's the biggest refugees crisis in Latin America, in the history of Latin America. It's huge. So I had the opportunity to connect with them, and I asked them, how could I help being here? So in my Interact club, we started to collect shoes, socks, and hats for the Venezuelan refugees. So I started to do presentations at school that what's going on in Venezuela, why we have 2 presidents and 2 Congress and 2 Supreme Courts. So I could impact in around 500 students. Just imagine, just me as an exchange student. There are a bunch of them in the world. So in this picture, you can see where I was picking up the shoes, the socks, and the hats for the Venezuelan refugees.
So as Sam said, the original exchange student of the District 6840 were actually 4. You had me and Annie, and then there was this amazing guy from Japan called Yukiya, and another guy from Italy called Pietro. But then, as we all know, the pandemic hit. So we were a little lost, we didn't know what to do, and 2 of us decided to go back home. But me and Annie decided to stay here. And it was really hard because we thought our exchange was finished or at least ruined. But then Aniela had this amazing idea that she's going to introduce to you.
All right, so this is a teamwork. We all have worked in this, but after a panic attack I had literally been here and I thought that our exchange was over, I thought we needed to do something. That, as I told y'all, I was born in Venezuela, so I was born in a crisis. I don't know any other government. I don't know any other style of life more than a crisis, more than we have to solve. We have a problem, we have to solve. So problems suddenly are just, ways to find other solutions. So when the pandemic started, I thought we needed to do something. I didn't know what to do. My Interact club at home didn't know what to do either. Here in the States, they didn't have any idea of how to work being in a pandemic. That's why we decided to call some friends in the Rotary world, some Interact clubs from other parts of the world, and we decided to do a meeting. So this meeting was the first meeting. We have like 16 clubs from all over, but now we create this project called Rotary Interactive Quarantine, which is a multi-continental platform hosted by District CCA 40 here in the States, where Rotary youth from all over the world get together to share their experiences during the quarantine and how to inspire others with projects ideas during isolation. So it's all Interact kids and Rotary Youth Exchange meeting every other week to share what they are doing back in home, to share how can you make a difference being in your home, because there is no other way to do it. So our goal is to create a plan of action for the clubs so they don't stop their normal activities during the quarantine, and also connect with each other, share cultures, and opens opportunities for international projects.
So at the moment, we have meetings every first and third Sunday of the month. And as you can see, we have a lot of countries that are involved with this. We have Sri Lanka, Colombia, Venezuela, Italy, and the list can really go on for a long time. Currently, our next meeting is on Saturday, June 20th at 10 a.m. And we're really excited about that. We really work a lot about it, and we are really passionate about this project.
So we have been working on this for 2 months, and we have had 4 meetings by now. And okay, go ahead, Elena. This is yours.
So as you can see, in these months that we have worked during this project, we have collected more than 54 countries in the world, and we have more than 92 Rotary districts, 131 Interact clubs, and more than 400 students. Okay, I made it. So as you can see, in just this really short time, this project that we started is getting really, really big.
It's that big that we decided a month ago that we will have a conference, that we wanted to have a conference. So the person who opened our conference was President Mark Maloney of Rotary International. And we also hear from President-elect Holger Knack, who shared his point of view for Rotary Youth. And we have Ms. Elizabeth Van Zandt, who is the governor-elect of District 6840. We also have international speakers, one Rotary actor from South Africa, and a leadership expert, Dr. Botti, that he was also in PETS down in February, when we met. But the most exciting part, at least for me, was that we have an astronaut from NASA. And he shared with us how to be successful in isolation. Like, who better than an astronaut who literally works like in a cage to speak about how to be successful in isolation. So what are we doing now? We, as Elena said, we have meetings. We have 2 meetings in a month where Rotary Youth Exchange and Interact clubs, they share their experiences. We also share in our social media their projects. So you can find projects from Sri Lanka, Colombia, Ecuador, from all over the world in our social media. And we are working to have a big project idea, like polio for Rotary, but led by Rotary Youth. And we are actually working in some training for Interact students and Rotary Youth Exchange in leadership, how to manage your Interact club. We don't have that training that y'all have. The Interact clubs, when we get there, is just go ahead and do the best you can, but we want to train them because Interact clubs has so much power. I'm an Interactor. I was first Interactor than Rotary Youth Exchange, and I love Interact. I mean, I love Rotary Youth Exchange as well, but it's like my home. Anyways, so thank you all so much for listening to us, and support your Rotary Youth local programs, your inner clubs in high school, close where you are. The Rotary Youth Exchange program in your district. This is an amazing opportunity for the other kids to go to your house, to your club, and for you to grow in your family as well. So you can still connect with us in Interactive Quarantine. We are on Facebook and we are on Instagram. You can actually find the conference on Facebook, and you can see like a bunch of projects from all over the world. And if you go to our social media. So it's a pleasure to have presented to you guys. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for opening the opportunity for us to speak in your club. It's really appreciated. If you have any more questions or comments, or you want to keep in touch with us, it will be a pleasure.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Your Facebook page, what's the name? Is it
Rotary Interactive Quarantine.
Rotary
Interactive Quarantine.
Interactive Quarantine, okay. And for an existing Interact club to join your meeting from Louisiana, how would they do that?
There is a link in the Facebook page where they can register for the platform, and then we send all the information, and then they can follow in social media, and we post everything. We have an app right now for the Interact kids to have all the information. It's pretty cool. So they can go to the Facebook page and sign up, or they can contact me or Elena, and then we help them.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna stop to share my screen. That way, yes.
I would like to say, I told you it's been such an honor for me to be able to work with these kids. We're continuing with the Rotary Interactive Quarantine. The kids want this program to continue, so we're working now on how we're going to move this program forward following quarantine. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that's been a big focus from my perspective as a Rotarian is working very closely with these students on a way to really integrate our youth into Rotary. And I'm challenging every Rotary club we talk to do the same. You need this funnel of Interact and Youth Exchange students to Rotaract to Rotary to grow your clubs and to keep Rotary relevant and growing. And if you don't engage these youth now, they're going to go someplace else for it. So it's such an important part of Rotary. I really challenge you to include youth in your Rotary club and in the projects that you do. They're great workers. They love to do service. Mm-hmm. They're great for you for social media, which is not really the only thing they're good for. I hate to go and people think that these young people are only good for social media. They have a lot of great ideas and a lot of passion and a lot of time. So I hope that you're remaining active with youth in your club.
Samantha, thank you for those words, because we youth interaction obviously is one of President-elect Knack's main focuses for next year. It's also the main focus of our district governor-elect, Yvonne Normand, who's a lot of her work was in Interact. And we have a lot of very ambitious goals for next year as a district in regards to that. I also could not agree with you more on the need to get students and Interact members and Rotaract members like Annie and Elena through the process, because I swear to God, I'm looking at 2 future district governors, if not 2 future RI directors, with y'all's energy and y'all's passion. It's fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And you know, y'all's generation is the future of the organization. So keep up the outstanding work.
We will be more than happy to help you to grow with the Interact goals. So we are creating this platform to support every district and all the Interact clubs to grow. If you would like to connect with us and like with the leadership team of RIQ, the Interact kids from all over to help the district, that will be great as well.
And I see Greg Landry said he had sent a couple of questions to y'all in chat, but he wanted to see if you could address the answers to the group if you're able to do that.
Yes, he asked me what I thought about Cristobal. Well, that was pretty scary. I have ever been in a term before coming here because I am from Caribbean, so we don't have that stuff. And the first night, I thought that the house was like collapsing, and I was really scared. Like, no, well,
So instead, Mr. Craig asked me what I think about the protests going on all around the world. So my thought is that, first of all, I was really scared. Like my mom reading the news, she was like, oh my God, like United States is on fire or something. But no, I think I support the cause, obviously. I support equality and everything. But I think personally the violence is never the answer. So I don't know.
It's interesting. That's something that I've felt for a long time is that Rotary is it's really the only organization that I've seen and been a part of globally where people really are able to put aside individual political or religious ideologies and come together to try to make the world a better place. And so I think that, with the combination of racial tensions and protests and the pandemic, both of these are things that Rotary can help with. And Rotary Youth Exchange is one of the ways that it can help. Exchanging ideas, getting to know new cultures, getting to appreciate different people. So,
yes.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
We are
And
promoting
we deal with these issues of inequality and those, even just within their own leadership group. We have students from both Lebanon and Israel, and there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of difficulties for those students to work together. So they're really getting a lot of on-the-job training in how to negotiate and how to peace build.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, you go to zone meetings, international meetings, and it's always, to me, just refreshing, and I love seeing who I'm seeing shaking hands and who I'm seeing hugging. You will see someone in traditional Islamic garb hugging, someone wearing a yarmulke like they're best friends, and you will see someone from the deep South walking up to someone who's super left from Portland, Oregon, shaking hands like best friends. And it's wonderful. It's truly wonderful. And
yes.
You mentioned that leadership thing, from Lebanon and Israel. Interactions like that are what lead to better understanding and resolution down the road. So.
We went to a conference in January that was for all the exchange students in the area of the United States, and that for me was like amazing. We had hundreds of exchange students from all around the world, and it's amazing because at the end you just realize that we're all teenagers and we talk to each other, we have fun together. It's just we understand the difference between us and we are interested in each other's culture, but at the same time we're all the same. That's, to me, is so powerful.
And the amazing part is we keep in touch after the conference. So now the people we met in Tulsa, now we are friends and they are working with us here. They are leaders in the organization, and it's amazing how we realize that we are all the next leader, like the next leaders of the world, and that we met like 20 years before we were actually in a position. So if Elena is the president of Italy in, 30 years, and I'm the president of Venezuela, the countries will have the best relationship ever in the history that we met.
Yeah, we need more women presidents, that's for sure.
Amen to that one.
Woohoo!
Absolutely. Oh man. Well, does anyone else have any questions or comments? This has been a fantastic presentation. We've got a little time we can get back to everybody if they want, but if you want to keep interacting, keep talking about other questions, that's fine also. Teresa?
I have two questions, two more. I'm interested in finding out from Anna about the reaction she's gotten from her parents during her stay here, because as we all know, Italy was hit really hard with the pandemic at first, and it seemed like the United States was not going to have a hard time. And then it's all switched where we're like, like the number one country, the number of cases, the number of deaths and everything else. So Annie, how are your parents reacting, you know, as you transition through this time.
Are you guys addressing that to Annie or Elena? Elena's from Italy.
Oh, Elena.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
At the beginning, it was really hard for me because I was trying, I'm still here. And when the school were still open here in the United States, but like the situation was, the United States was still completely normal while Italy was really going down. So I would wake up every day and try not to think about Italy being such a bad situation. But, you know, through the day, people ask me about my family and my country, obviously. So at the beginning it was really hard, like combine these two words for me. But actually, one of the reasons that I decided to stay at the beginning was that because my parents and me thought it was more safe to be here and, you know, not travel during the whole pandemic and everything. Yeah. So now that is kind of reversed. I mean, I guess I kind of see that coming because it would be impossible for, like, if the world is being hit, it would be impossible for the United States not to be hit. So I kind of see that coming, and I had the time to realize that it was going to happen, and I decided to just stay here and try to enjoy my exchange year as best as I could, and I believe that everything was going to be okay.
Okay. And my other question has to do with your group and former exchange students. I know we have Janine Coleman, who's on this line, who was the youth exchange officer in the mid-teens, the 2010, 2015. And so we have exchange students who have been here in our club who have graduated on, and I can say that most of them have continued a global citizenship. They did not go home and stay home. They've gone to school in different places like Germany. They've gone back and visited the places that they've been before. Another young lady went and spent time in Sri Lanka. I don't know if you heard about, they had that shutdown of that country. She was there doing peacekeeping activities, and they didn't let anybody out. I'm wondering whether y'all would be interested in having these young ladies, and probably, I don't know the boys, I just know the girls, but Janine would know the boys, any of them to invite them to interact with your quarantine group.
So we're trying to keep the quarantine group to students who are, we do have some Rotex, but we're trying to keep it in that under 20 group. So because the older students have more leadership skills and more leadership experience, and we really want this group to remain this youth.
Okay, all right, I can respect that.
So we're happy for the others to come. We have youth exchange volunteers from all over the world that are coming to the RIQ meetings and participating in the meetings, but not really serving, like they won't serve on committees within the RIQ and all of those functions, but they're absolutely welcome to come and watch the meetings and participate in that way.
Okay, all right, thank you. And thank you to both of you for being diplomats for your country. It's a really marvelous thing to do. And I take my hat off to you and to your parents, because I know what they're going through.
We had another question in the comments that I think it's for both of us. What are our plans after high school? What do we want to do after high school? I already graduated from high school in Venezuela last year. I was doing kind of the senior, junior, I don't know what year here. It was just for the experience in the English, but I would like to stay, to study college, to go to college here in the US. I would like to study international relationships. And yeah, that's all my plans. And Elena?
For me, high school in Italy is 5 years instead of 4. So this counts as my 4th year, and I have to go back and get back to my normal high school and normal life, let's say like that. But after I finish that, I I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I'm for sure wanna travel somewhere or spend another year abroad or a semester. I for sure wanna do that.
And I just wanted to say how beyond impressed I am by these two young ladies and your English. I know people who only speak English and don't speak as well as you. Not gonna name names, but you know. But yeah, I mean, this is just an amazing, congratulations to both of y'all. I think y'all doing a great job. And of course, nosy like I am, I kind of looked up y'all Facebook pages. And I see Elena, actually we have common friends, come to think of it. And actually one of them was a former French teacher from Codeville. And who was a very good friend of mine. Actually, when I was director of Codeville, I recruited her and I brought her to the United States. So it's funny how.
I love her.
Yeah, they're just fantastic. Craig is a great man, and you need to practice your French with him too. Alors, je sais pas si tu parles français, mais il faut parler français avec eux autres aussi. You got to speak French with them because they're very good. They both speak French, and the children speak French too. So I'm just amazed by all of these exchanges that we have, and it's just the way the world's going right now, we need more of this. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Youth Exchange will build your club. That's what I tell clubs when I speak as a youth services person as a youth services Rotarian. That's what I'll tell you. Youth services will build your club. They'll bring energy to your club. They'll bring lifelong members to your club. I'm a Rotarian because of Youth Exchange. My son was a Youth Exchange student. It's how I learned about Rotary. Long before I became a Rotarian.
Yep. Yep.
And then I hosted a whole bunch of these little kids.
That's great. Well, again, Annie and Elena, y'all are both very, very impressive young women, and thank y'all for being with us today. And Samantha, thank you for sharing your time and for sharing these two wonderful students with us. And everyone, please stay safe. And I will send out information on the end of year banquet sometime probably within the next week or so. And y'all are welcome back to join our club anytime you would like.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.